The entire Democratic campaign has been speaking to the American people. Trump, Trump, Trump. We have no policies. And you are weak people and you're all victims. Because if you stay in the victim mindset, you never accomplish anything. Morning, all. Today is Sunday, November 3rd. That is the Dada in the background holding the waters.
Hello.
How are we feeling? We're feeling good?
Yeah, we're feeling good.
We're feeling good. It's Sunday, November 3rd. I voted for Trump. Dad voted for Trump. If you have not voted already, please do make sure that you get out and you vote. That morning that you wake up, if you're choosing to vote election day, make sure you vote. Even if it's one of those days like you're stuck in traffic or your car doesn't start or your morning juice spilled all over yourself. You need to make sure that you vote. It's the most important thing to accomplish that day. I don't think that this video is the time to try to necessarily reach people, although there's always a chance to reach last minute people, because I feel that people at this point are set in their ways or indoctrinated, and that is something that hopefully we can work on, hoping that he wins. You know, then the videos can start to be, how did we get to this point? Many people have, including myself, tried to speak to the youth in the sense of that the economy was better under Trump. There is soaring inflation. The Democrats, gaslighting is a very successful tactic. And they will tell you that everything that's happening to you right now is Trump's fault. And one of the most bewildering things that they do is when they do that thing where Walt, including Harris, have stood in front of the podium and gone, we cannot take another 4 years of this. It's like, you have been the ones in power. And it's just wow level that people could even think that they're getting in front of a podium and they're going, we cannot take another 4 years of this. You're the ones in power. And there are somehow people out there that believe that this is all Trump's fault. That's just mind-boggling to me that people are falling for that. So when the rhetoric was, look what happened in the last 4 years, their smart ass response was somehow blame it all on Trump. It's like they're going, we cannot take another 4 years, and they're realizing, ooh, that's working. We better twist it in some weird gaslighting way. It's like people are realizing it's been really bad, so we got to twist it. And then somehow they make it all his fault and go, we cannot take another 4 years, even though we're the ones in power, blah, blah, blah. It's all Trump's fault. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I voted. Dan voted. If you have not already voted, get out and vote. The economy is not good. The economy is not good. The job report was awful. People are writing Trump's gonna send us into a recession or a depression. We're in a recession now. I'm walking around the mall. It's unheard of during the holiday season not to see, tables set out hiring for the holidays, and whether they intend to keep you or not after the holidays. There's always a chance they will. I've known people who have gotten into jobs that way. And there's hardly any of that out. The job reports is pathetic, and that includes jobs where you're only working a few hours a week and there's no benefits. The economy is very bad. The economy is very, very bad. If you do not have a job today that somehow you've had for the last year or so, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. I don't know what you can get. When you divide the 12,000 amongst 50 states, it's not good. And those are jobs that are getting posted, and who knows if they're filled or if the person quits. It wasn't exactly what they advertised. The economy was better under Trump. My life was better under Trump. I was happier every day. It was safer to go out. You walk around the mall, the luxury mall here in South Florida, in Aventura, and there are 200 illegals. I joke and I use the term new friends, but I don't think that this is a video of joking. Illegals. Almost entirely men walking around the mall with their bags and their travel tags. Many of them wearing designer clothing. It's very unsafe to walk out, basically. You walk in the mall, there's 200 men walking through the mall that are illegals. They're following women, walking into women's department stores, watching children in the mall. It's happening. I've seen buses outside early in the morning at the mall, then all of a sudden you'll be in the mall and there's 20 new illegals walking through the mall, all again with their luggage tags, who the theory is they got off the bus. I voted for Trump. My dad voted for Trump. Thank you for all who have already voted, who have done their part, who talked to their relatives, their friends, people around them, and got that person that maybe didn't think their vote was important, or they got tired or making up excuses. if everyone does that, talks to that one person, it adds up. People are really under this mentality, I'm one person, but in reality, if 500 people think that, guess what? That's 500 people. And the Democrats are counting on that. You never accomplish anything. And then when you're down and out, government will be there to lend a hand. And you don't want to be in that position. You want to be strong and accomplish everything you want to accomplish, even if it means falling down 10 times before. I have failed many times in my life. I have failed getting into schools that I wanted to get into and programs I wanted to get into, and I'm convinced that all of those things guided to me to where I am today. I have the Democratic Party, Harris voters, and they'll write things on my videos, derogatory comments based on appearance or intellect. I'm not affected by this. It's a strange comment to make, but I've thought about this line before in the past. And of course, people should be kind to each other. But quite frankly, if people had been very, very kind to me in my past, I don't think I would have accomplished anything that I've accomplished. In other words, one of the worst things that people could have done to me in my past was to be super kind to me. And it's such a weird, warped thing to say, but everything I've been through in my life is what gave me the push to be determined. I have been told by the Harris supporters online that I'm ugly, I'm not intelligent, I'm uneducated, go to school, get a job. I graduated from FIU with a bachelor's in international relations, 3.92 summa cum laude. Despite the odds of all the trauma I had been through in my life, I didn't use that to create a victimhood mentality. I used it to make me to study stronger. I got a partial scholarship to UM. I graduated with a 4.0 GPA from a master's focusing in sociology, history, a lot on World War II, which has been quite something thinking about that and everything that's happening now. I'm proud of my education. Did it necessarily get me ahead? Yes and no. It didn't bring on the magical job that the university system promised. It never necessarily matched a income or a job that it was supposed to. Did it serve a purpose at the time? Perhaps. Everyone's different. It allowed some people think it helps your brain grow. I found myself in a lot of classes with a lot of liberal professors that I did not agree with in ideologies, and I found myself arguing with them. And so that's something that's memorable. I remember I had a class years ago when I was in undergrad, and I would disagree with the professor on different things, and he was basically a radical liberal, and I found myself, it was one of those required classes you had to take, and I would argue with him in the class, and I would say, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this guest speaker you brought in. I don't agree with this. And it was one of those moments where I found myself really feeling like I'm part of the problem if I don't speak up. I'm part of the problem and staying silent. Yes, I haven't agreed with you, but I'm part of the problem. I remember I had a student, as I left the class, it was a girl, she paced me and came up alongside me. And she's like, how could you do that? That was you really took on everyone in the class. And I'm like, but wasn't everything I said true? And she goes, yeah, but you spoke up. Yeah, I did. And that was in reference to, I remember I took this, it was an anthropology course, and the professor brought in a guest speaker who was about rehabilitating people who have done very bad things in some organization he had and this and that. And I was just very appalled by this person and what this person was talking about, and I just was like, I do not agree with this at all. These are people that should be not let out free to roam the streets and everything. I really hope he wins. I really hope he wins. Every time I ask myself, did I do enough? Could I have posted more videos? I guess I could have. There's always, I guess, more, but I guess I did the best I could. I've been working full time. The Harris voters wrote on my comments that not educated again. I guess I'm formally educated. It's subjective. If you want to call me dumb, call me dumb. You're not really insulting me. I don't work, get a job. It's I have a full-time job. My coworkers, some of them have full-time jobs and have found themselves having another part-time job, and it's still not enough. Get a better job, and that way you can love the inflation. No, I will never love the inflation, and the inflation will always be 2 steps ahead of me. And the indoctrination is definitely happening in the schools. The universities are part of the problem. How young people, 18, 19-year-olds, are okay with the idea of you are struggling, you may never get a good job, you may never own a home, you're going to be in financial debt. Why are you okay with someone who was flown in or just arrived illegally having things better than you? Why are you okay with that? Why are you okay with that? That is where the indoctrination has come. And in those moments like that, you have, Charlie Kirk, who will take on things like that when he addresses young people. You'll see a moment on their face where he's reaching them. They may not admit that they're being reached, but they are. They're hearing it. That, why is it that I don't have a good job? Why is this person ahead of me when I've struggled so much and been working so hard? I voted for Trump. Dad voted for Trump. It's November 3rd. I really hope he wins. And there's so much I can say, and yet I don't feel that I necessarily have enough time. And I also feel that those are conversations that take time to properly address and reach people. And I think that if he wins, that can be the focus of, thank God he won, and now we address those conversations in videos. How did we get here? What can we do in conversations to address this? To ask people why it is that you don't care about yourself anymore. Why it is that you don't want you to do well. Why are you willing to sacrifice yourself for always someone else? In other words, you must always come last. When I was a sub, I was doing subbing at one time, I remember I walked into a class and I should have gotten a photo of it. I don't know if it technically is CRT, critical race theory training, or it falls under an umbrella of that. It was a class where the teacher is, and it's a vulnerable group of people. She was an instructor that was in charge of reading when you're struggling, like intensive reading. And the majority of students were English as a second language. So she would have these pamphlets that the students need to read the passage the best they can and then try to answer like reading comprehension questions. And the article, as I read over it, basically the article was about why it's not good to win. And the article basically said, why win when you can allow someone else to win? Maybe there's someone else that has never had a chance at winning, and why can't you help someone else to win? And the title of the article was something along that level, like why it's not always good to be the winner. And that struck me as very odd. It struck me as very odd. It probably goes against, something along the level of the CRT umbrella. Someone always should be ahead of you. And I guess it's like a weird, those things where you look, it's like an optical illusion and the picture's within a picture, within a picture, within a picture, and it keeps going on forever. I was thinking about that. If you're not supposed to win and then the next person reads the article and they're not supposed to win, who wins? No one wins. If you think about it, that optical illusion, you know what I'm talking about, where you see like a picture within a picture within a picture within it just keeps going that way. If you read the article and then someone else reads the article and everyone reads the article, who actually wins? The reasons I voted for Trump, Dad voted for Trump, and others are voting for Trump is that we have seen a decline in this country. We have really become a unity party. Never did you think that we would be a party of RFK Jr., Tulsi, Elon, Trump. This is quite the team. And if these people are coming together, something's different now. RFK Jr. has talked about the censorship. We've heard Harris make comments about censorship with social media. We've seen the social media censorship happening and the arrests happening in the UK. And I have comments of people posting on my channel. They'll write that there's never been those arrests in the UK. It's never happened. That's not true. It's all over the internet. That's one of the reasons that, social media is such a destructive thing to administrations, especially administrations who do not want free speech to exist. I'm concerned about what they've talked about, the weaponization of these different bureaucracies going after political opponents, political people who think a certain way, and the economy, the inflation, the border crisis, that it's unsafe to go out. I mean, you've seen what's happened to these small towns with the illegals coming in. Picture any town that you're in. Towns, you know, I used to live in Colorado in Eagle County. I think it was like 30,000 people. And that included people who obviously were second homeowners. I don't even know if that included everyone that's always there. Now picture your population of your town doubling or exceeding that and being illegals. Your town will not exist anymore. And picture it happening everywhere. Picture, because a lot of people, you know, eventually at some point in their life have been on a cruise. Picture going to Jamaica or one of the islands and now seeing 3 million North Koreans walking around, or 3 million people from Saudi Arabia walking around on the beach, okay? And the dynamic change. And this is not normal immigration where we become a blend of people. People need to be vetted. We don't know who these people are, and well, we do, unfortunately. We've seen a lot of the numbers of some of the horrible things some of these people have done, and the stories that we've heard. And I think it was in the Brett Baier interview, they asked him specifically about some of those things, and her direct response was, and Trump. She doesn't care. She doesn't care about you. Going in now to, I don't know if we'll edit this at the moment or we'll edit it a little later, but get out there and vote. Vote for Trump. And hopefully we will be celebrating next week. And I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.